Egungun ara Orun Bobo Orisa for another day to bask in the goodness of Onile's sacred earth. Every day given is very special, and here are a few details, cosmic details, pertaining to how. I'm Ayansa JT Muse, and this is your early rising or your evening settling mystic forecast. Ekule, or good evening to you. I'd like to say first thank you to your Ori and honor to your ancestors and spirit guides for bringing you here at this place and time tonight. I'm Mayansa J. Muse, and it's 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, and thus time for your nightly mystic forecast. As I just said, I am Mayansa J. Muse, the sole creator of 222.9 The Mothership Internet Radio, the Black Madonna of the airwaves, preserving the genius of Black music infused with mystic teaching. And today, a season changes. So we shift out of the third house of the season of duality, Gemini, and into the fourth house of crab season. So I'm broadcasting live from my YouTube. So if you aren't already, subscribe there and scroll through that backlog and enjoy some of those diaries I've made of special moments in the spiritual journey. I'm also broadcasting from the Eonsa JT Muse, the 222.9 The Mothership, and the Wednesdaily Malbik Planetarium Facebook pages, and my Instagram, Wednesdaily Instagram Live, Eonsa's Malbik Planetarium, where we will be discussing things about space in the near future. But for right now, this is just your heads up from the quasars. We're going to sum up the energies of tonight and then shift into preparing for tomorrow. Ashe. So biblically, in the book of Genesis, Wednesday was day 3 of the week. And day 3 of the week was where the Most High created the heavens and the quasars, the solar systems, the galaxies, the planets, and said, let these be for watching for signs. So for those of all of you stoic religious folk that want to call astrology a sin, do yourself a blessing, child. Check Genesis chapter 1. You tell me. So today, 222.9 The Mothership honors the quasars as well as an Orisa tradition, the Orisha Oya. Ibashe Iyami. Oya is the harbinger of change, the winds of transformation. She's the one who makes sure that nothing in life goes stagnant. So don't shun change. Change is good, and so is Oya. Wednesday is the week's climax, ruled by the planet Mercury and its higher octave, the intuitive Uranus, where intellect meets intuition. And when you let those two join hands, you become an unstoppable spiritual force. So Wednesday carries the intentions behind action and communicates with the heavens. Good prime energy for manifesting. So be really careful what you say to the universe, honey, because it is listening. Now, planetarily, Mercury is considered the messenger of the gods, but that name came from Rome. The original, primordial, earliest documented messenger of the gods, his name is Eshu. Just want to throw that in your pipe and smoke it real quick. I'm going to take a quick break, and when I come back, we're going to get into what's so special about this particular Wednesday, now that we've talked about Wednesday in general. When I come back from the break, we're going to talk about what's so special about this one. I'm Mayansa J. Muse, and this is your nightly mystic forecast. Beam up. Wednesdays, Mercury, Uranus, purples, Ibashe Oya, Ibashe Nanaburu, maroons, exotic voices of the mothers. Welcome to Wednesdays on the Mothership, 222.9. Beam up. purples, rich maroons, rich browns, rainbows, Iansa's gourd bottle art, Iansa's gourd bottle art digital prints, books, Malbec planetarium articles, and teachings, handmade healing stone jewelry, astrology charts, astrology readings, astrology-inspired mystic gifts, and so much more. It's all inside the Mothership Mystic Boutique, the Mercury-Uranus collection. And we're back. So in case you're just now joining us, I am Mayansa J. Muse, the Black Madonna of the airwaves, bringing you your nightly mystic forecast on 222.9 The Mothership. And if you are listening over the Mothership airwaves, that's whether you're listening from your Android, your desktop, or your iPhone, you're hearing this smooth and sultry vocale of mine over the instrumental of Sade's Jezebel. No, I'm not whispering any clues. I just like how she tells the story of how the Jezebel spirit came to be. Something all of us ladies can look out for in our journeys to discovering the divine feminine. Just a sentiment. So, let's talk about what went on in the quasars today. Oya rings in crab season with Yemoja and Ogun energy in tow. Orumi Latu. Why do I say that? Oh, just because of the daily numerology. Wednesday is the day that Oya rules in many traditions of Ifa, and there are some where I believe Shango is the ruler of today, but they work very closely together. In my lineage, I was taught that Oya rules Wednesday, so here we are, honoring my Orisha Mama on the day of the week's climax. Uranus is there too. But the numerology boils down to a 16-7. So with 16, you got a Rumila. With the number 7, that's sacred to both Yemoja and Ogun. So all four of these Orisha energies are kind of dancing around on today as we shift from the season of duality into the season of our emotions. So may Oya bring you positive changes in the form of swift winds. May Yemoja provide the environment, the meditative space that you need to cultivate your changes. May Ogun open the roads to your blessings and block all the candy-coated paths that would lead to disaster. And may Orumi La bless you with the divine guidance to stay on the path leading to your highest destiny. Ashe. This is the first Wednesday of crab season and the first Wednesday of summer solstice. And honey, I'm in the deep South USA and God dog is hot. And I call myself liking the heat, but this one is going to give me a lot of sauna time this summer. So stay hydrated out there and sweat out all those impurities as you let yourself drip. We're still in the season of the ancestor and the African way of the stars. And emotional resolve, season moons at play until July 21st. What do I mean by that? Well, Zodiac House 4 is ruled by the moon, and the moon rules the emotions. So from now until July 31st, 21st, would be a good time to really examine the emotional balance as the moon and the sun dance hand in hand. The moon tonight is waxing in my house. Hey, hey, hey. The moon tonight is waxing in Leo. So, while the week is at the climax, while Yemaja, Ogun, Orumila, and Oya are all dancing in the same stance, and the moon is waxing in Zodiac House 5, this is a good time to make new affirmations. This is a good time to increase your willpower behind what you're trying to manifest. If there's a will, there's a way. Faith without work is dead. So don't just sit there and meditate on it, baby. Get up and do it. And that's how you communicate to the heavens that you're serious through action. And the more you work towards your goals, the more your goals work towards you. I'm going to let you marinate on that. And when I come back, we're going to talk about the planets. Which ones are retrograde? Which ones are heading into retrograde? what their energies mean, and what should be done. I'm Mayansa J. Muse, and this is your nightly Mystic Forecast, only on your Mystic Haven on the airwaves, 222.9 The Mothership. Beam up.
Every 4 minutes, the heavens switch positions, and it will serve your spirit well to have the heads up ahead of time, as every day is special as we know. But this program is designed to bring you the mystic details of what makes each and every day special and different from the one before. It brings an elixir of numerology, astrology in various form, moon phases, daily divinations, and anything else pertaining to cosmic phenomena. Join me at 9 p.m. nightly for this elixir on The Forecast. If you miss your nightly forecast, well, it airs again at 6 a.m. So you can't miss it, at least and not be fully aligned with your day. So make sure that you tune in to The Forecast on 222.9 The Mothership. Beam up.
And we're back. Oh goodness, Oya, Shango, and Yemoja already getting it going over here. There's lightning in the sky, rain is falling. I gotta hurry up and get off this forecast so I can go outside and catch some of that. That's a good thing to do spiritually, by the way. When it's raining, meditate on something you need to cleanse from you and go outside and take one of them showers from Mother Nature. See how wonderful it does your spirit. Telling you, you'll call me and thank me in the morning. I'm Mayansa J. Muse, and this is your nightly mystic forecast on my self-created radio station, 222.9 The Mothership, your mystic haven on the airwaves. And now I'm sharing some things with you about the planets. How rude of me. I've been talking about planets coming out of retrograde and going into retrograde and didn't really clarify what exactly is retrograde. Planetary retrogrades occur when the Earth moves faster around the Sun, faster than a certain planet, and it makes the planet appear to move backwards. So planets don't actually move backwards. The Earth just starts running too far ahead of them, and they have to take some time to reflect and catch up. Spiritually, retrogrades are a time to reflect, and that can be a challenge when we're all in this world where we're all just busy, 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 right? Well, you don't want to be so busy that you don't have time for that spiritual balance because we can be real busy on the wrong road and not look up and notice it for years. Planets do affect our behaviors more than we think. So when certain planets go into retrograde, it's good to be aware of those things. And that's why your Black Madonna on the airwaves created this forecast. So, right about now, we are in the midst of Saturn retrograde, which went into retrograde on Saturday, the 17th. And we have Pluto that's been in retrograde since May 1st. Now, Pluto is the planet of rejuvenation, subtle transformations that lead to larger changes, reminding you to keep an eye on your taboos. Embrace your inner transformation. End old habits, close old chapters, and let those things go so that you can create room for what's new. Let all y'all blow that old debris off your path so new things can come. Saturn, trickster planet, karma, divine discipline, power, carnal essence. This planet talks about important life lessons, so let's get those. Embrace those deeper crossroads and following those things we know we want to do. Because the things that we put on our heart that are desires are very well aligned with your highest destiny. And that's why you keep dreaming of doing them. This is a time to tighten up on self discipline and deepen your self expression. Ashe. But Neptune is headed into retrograde. We are 9 days outside of Neptune retrograde. And Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. Neptune is the planet of divine compassion. So Neptune will have a bit of an effect on Pisces people. and I believe Scorpios too. Neptune deals with spirituality. So when Neptune goes into retrograde, be mindful of delusionism. Stay grounded to avoid escapism. Avoid disconnection. Reaccess your dreams and take the practical steps one at a time to manifest them. Avoid vices. Olokun resonates heavily with Neptune energy. It's very dreamy, very much like Yemoja as well. So offerings to these two Orishas will help you to get through Neptune retrograde very well. Saturn, as long as Saturn is in retrograde, Capricorn energy is going to be a little turned up. So from now until November 4th, give the Capricorns and the Aquariuses in your life a break. Saturn is in retrograde. So that energy is going to have a higher effect on them than it will the other 10 houses. Same with Pluto. Let the Scorpios make it until October 11th. Okay? Because when these planets move into retrograde, the zodiac houses and the children of those zodiac houses are more highly affected. But I hate to boast, but that's one of the wonderful things about being a Leo. We're the only ones ruled by the sun. And every planet orbits around the sun, and the sun don't orbit around nobody. I'm Mayasa J. Muse, and this is your nightly mystic forecast on 222.9 The Mothership, your mystic haven on the airwaves. Beam up. When we come back, we're going to shift into what to expect for tomorrow, Thursday, Shango Day, the day of Oya's husband. Stay tuned.
May 13th. Blank face, soapstone, my throne, no clones, dripping lyrical honey from my beehive drones or wasp nest. At the behest of my ego, I go, you'll know. Soon enough. The original rapper, your first hip-hop artist, was the ancient African warrior who told his stories of triumph or defeat over a drum beat. Ever wondered why rappers always say, "Gimme a beat"? Well, that beat is the sacred baton of the heart. And what does rap even stand for anyway? Rhythm and poetry. So why not experience it in its raw form? You know, the open style, blaze the mic, spit the bars, poetic gospel. Oh yes. So if you aren't afraid, then join us at 6 p.m. for Rhyme, the Underground Gospel. That's 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, that is, for an hour of straight bars from everyday people. And who knows, you may hear a few of Mama's rhymes, only on your mystic musical haven on the airwaves, 222.9 The Mothership. Beam up.
Before sight. Before sight of shells, there were stanzas, stanzas of my soliloquies. Before sight of wisdom, before sight of worship, there was only my written word, Afoshe. Before sight of divination, before sight of Dafa, there were diaries, diaries in dozens. Before sight of revelation, before sight of reason, there were only my rhapsodomancies of rhyme, rearranged to rhythms of my lipstick-kissed alchemy, alchemies of my depths, my valleys, my mountains, my visions, my empathies, my testimonies, my joys, my sorrows, my love. Before sight of awakening, before sight of airwaves, before sight of anointing, there were archives of my allegories. Before sight of clarity, Before sight of conversion and clergy call, there were collections of my ink prints. Before sight of prophecy, before sight of priestesshood, there was poetry, poetries that bear my fruit. There was me. And we're back. Ooh, it's a full-on thundering rainstorm going on outside, and I'm sticking my bottom lip out because I want to go jump in it. This is Ayanta J. Muse and giving you your nightly mystic forecast. And before the break, we just recapped the energies of Wednesday. So you got about 2.5 more hours to make the most of that energy before the clock strikes 12 and we head into Thursday. Shango venerated. And on the mothership's rotation, that's the jam of the fire starting divine fathers. I mean the ones that shake it in your face. I'm talking about Prince, Bootsy Collins, Sly and the Family Stone, Morris Day and the Time, Michael Jackson, Bruno Mars, the P-Funk. Join me for this old school jam infused with mystic groove. Of course, when the clock strikes 12, we're going to go into sacral chakra sleep meditation. So remember, 222.9, the mothership is a 24-hour a day, 24 hours, 7 day a week station. Sleep meditation at midnight or Orisha music from 7 to 9. Old school grooves all day, Monday through Friday. Classic hip hop on Saturdays. Gospel and smooth jazz on the days of the sun. So let's talk about Thursdays. Talk about tomorrow. June 22nd vibrates on a 17-8, so that's some Obatala energy in the midst of the Orisha Shango. And he did that to Ogun. That day 8 showed up on a Tuesday, now it's showing up again on a Thursday. And that tells you something because the number 8 in Orisha tradition is sacred to the Orisha Obatala. So the Obatala energy is humility, patience, and striving for good character and purity of spirit. That's why his energy is considered the king of the Orishas. And the difference between the Shango Ileke and the Eshu Ileke is Eshu's is red and black, Shango's is red and white. And the white in Shango's Ileke represents the balance with Obatala that gives him power. It would be the first Thursday and the second day period of crab season, first Thursday of summer solstice. So as we turn up the heat, we go in balanced with Obatala and Shango energy, meaning blaze your trail, but don't burn nobody. The moon is waxing still in Leo, headed into the Virgo ship. Increase your willpower to expand, as Thursday's planetary ruler is Jupiter, and Jupiter is the planet of expansion. We're still in the season of the ancestor in the African way of the stars. And we are starting in the first decan of crab season. So if you were born between now and I believe the 1st of July, we are in the first can, 100% Zodiac House 4. So I'm going to take another quick break. And when I come back, we are going to do your nightly divination. And I've got a Mayan oracle card for you that I'm going to sum up. And then I've got an I Ching read. So stay tuned and don't touch that dial. You're right where you need to be on the Mystic Haven on the airways. 222.9 the mothership. Beam up.
Did you enjoy your astrology sip in the Malbec Planetarium? I hope so. Well, let's see how that energy expands when we take it inside for a deeper meaning with I Chings and Scarlet Serenes. That's www.poeticallymused.org/ IIICHINGSSCARLETSRENES. I bet you won't meet me there tomorrow. Ashe.
All right. Put a little bit of light on the subject. Let's see. There we go. And we're back. So, thank you for joining me for tonight's forecast. And now it is time for your nightly tarot and divination. So, on Thursdays, I switch to the I Ching, but I still have to recap tonight's card for Wednesday. And it comes from my favorite tarot deck of my collection, the Mayan Oracle. And the card is keyed, and the symbol is the staff. And the staff represents the connection between the earth, the heaven, and manifesting it down into earth. So, with this card following Tuesday's The Rising of the Dead card, what these messages are saying is resurrect your old ideas, resurrect your spiritual calling, resurrect anything within you that has died that can be reborn to achieve your highest good. This card calls for you to trust your inner knowing, to trust the voice of the Most High within. And shifting that over, for Thursdays, I read Ching. So yes, I do tarot readings, I do astrology readings, and I also do I Ching. So I'm loving really sharing these general messages with you. Those of you that are listening over the Mothership's airwaves, y'all get to hear me over Sade, but the ones on the video get to watch. So here's one of the advantages of watching, because they're actually seeing the image of the card and my I Ching coins and the actual I Ching. So we start with Oracle 39. And Oracle 39 represents limping. Now that doesn't sound very fun, does it? Well, the Oracle teaches us about limping when you are over exuding too much to get your goal built, as opposed to allowing yourself to be assisted by people and by spirit. So what this calls into question, or calls to our attention, is no man is an island. None of us do it alone. So don't be afraid to reach out for help from both the heavens and your fellow man in getting your goals accomplished. You will only hear so many no's before you will hear a yes. This shifts over into hexagram 53, which is small exceedings. And that directly correlates with the African proverb that one eats an elephant one bite at a time, meaning journeys of 1,000 miles start with the first step. So the tiny victories lead to the bigger victories. And oftentimes when we start out on our journeys of doing things, when we don't achieve overnight success, we want to just give up. Oh, no, honey, that's not how manifestation works. KFC started out with 11 herbs and spices in a black woman's kitchen that somebody hijacked and made a worldwide franchise. Yes. Yes. Everything starts out small, just as a seed penetrates an egg and produces a whole human being. It starts on a microscopic level. So start taking those tiny steps that you don't think matter until you see them adding up. And that is when you really start to feel the journey. And when you surrender to the journey, the destinations are many. When you're fixated on one destination and skip the journey, you will miss much. I am Mayanta J. Muse, and you are listening to 222.9 The Mothership, your mystic haven on the airwaves. Beam up.
A question on the heart is the spirit's thirst for clarity. Readings, consultations, I call them intuitive counseling sessions, but you know what I mean. They're kind of like gumbo or peach cobbler. You may have tried many,
but you haven't had mine. I can say I met the divine when I was about 9. Ever since I was 16, I found myself wondering, do I have an invisible "please come tell me your business" sign taped to my forehead? Then one day I was sitting at the bus stop at a crossroad, and I had the audacity to ask the goddess, why was I even sent to earth? And I became an ethereal, intuitive counselor. And the universe has been answering that question over and over again, one phone call at a time, for the last 9 years. From there, in between sessions, I began to relentlessly apply, align, and study the ways of the stars and of the ancients. 3 years in, Orisa priestesshood to Oya came knocking. Hence the Iya in the name Iyansa J, Iyansa, an Oya praise name. Oya is the Orisha who brings radical transformation and change. Make no mistake about it now, baby. I am no soothsayer. I am no fortune teller. I'm not a private investigator. I don't cast love spells. I'm not an emotional punching bag. I'm not a spiritual trash dump. I am not a haven for jinn spirits. I give guidance with clarity, with wisdom, with love, with truth. I unlock keys to your spiritual growth and your highest destiny according to your unique design. Ready for some evolutionary change? Let's talk. Oops. And we're back. So, thank you for joining me for tonight's forecast. I hope you gained some things that could build and broaden your cosmic perspective. Make the most of those energies and tonight's moon and all those beautiful things. But it's time for Mama to beam back up into the mothership and cook up some more mojo, honey. Those of you that are watching on the videos, I posted the link tree so you can pick your apple and take a bite, whether you need a reading, artwork, books, or to beam up to the mothership. I would recommend you do, because when the clock strikes 10, we're going to go into my Wednesday nightly vision of what love looks like. 2 hours of slow jams coming up in 20 minutes, and then when the clock strikes 12, sacral chakra sleep meditation. Soon to come with my own personal guided meditations. But right about now, I have to dedicate a song before I go, because this is still a radio station that jams. And I picked the one from the House Stella Got Her Groove Back soundtrack, and that's Soul to Soul, Free Again. However that resonates with you, I hope it does in a positive manner. And remember, the sky is big enough for us all to be stars. And in the words of the great elder George Clinton, free your mind and your ass will follow. I'm Mayantha J. Muse, and this is your nightly Mystic Forecast. Have a wonderful evening.
Every day is special. Why not find out mystically how? This is the forecast on your Mystic Music Haven on the airwaves, 222.9, the mothership. Beam up.